Beer Podcast is brought to you by these cool dudes.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Red Beard Podcast. This is your boy Cooley, and I'm chilling with
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
Yeah, man, because he's cool. He's cool.
I'm Mary Poppins.
So, what's up, man?
Chilling, man, chilling. What's
Yeah,
going on
dude.
with you?
Nothing much, man. I'm just thinking about how much I enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy because it was awesome. Dude, you are a big fan of Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, you loved the first one. It was like your shit. So, what did you think about the second one? Do you think that it, blew away the first one, or do you think it was the same? Like, what's your take on that?
I wouldn't say it blew away the first one.
Right.
But I think it was better because all the characters were already introduced and we could just jump right into the story and get right into the action. I felt like, like the first one was amazing and it didn't really have any right to be because like the characters and like the story and all that stuff, like nobody knew this stuff, man. Nobody knew the characters. Nobody knew anything that was going on. And the fact that it came out and, broke all the records that it did and, so many different people enjoyed it was fantastic. But this one had such high expectations. So for it to meet those expectations and in some cases exceed those expectations, it just had to be a better movie. Like, and there's no way that it wasn't a better movie than the first one.
Right. But I also feel like it's a sequel, so a lot of people always wonder, like, oh, is the sequel going to be as good as the first one? Are you going to be able to top that? And I feel like they did. For me, personally, like, I thought this one was better than the first because it was just all around fun. Like when I had mentioned when we were kind of heading out of the theater is that we didn't have to worry about getting to know the characters. They'd already been developed. We had formed a relationship with them from the first movie. You basically become invested in the characters, and you kind of already have a sense of their personalities. So I was already ready to go, as soon as it started. And it starts off with a lot of great action. The soundtrack is phenomenal, as it was in the first movie. And I don't know, like, I just really enjoyed the characters even more this time around. Like, my favorite character is Rocket. He is just such a funny character, and I enjoy watching him. And the fact that he's a raccoon, I think, is hilarious. And I don't know, he's just voiced by Bradley Cooper, and he adds that layer of sarcasm to him, which I think is really cool. And you forget that it's Bradley Cooper because of the way they screw with his voice, know. But I think a big thing for me in this sequel that really made it better than the first was adding Kurt Russell to the cast. Because he's just such a veteran actor and he's done everything, and he just has such a powerful presence when you see him on screen. So for me, that was a big part of why I enjoyed the movie. And Don and I had kind of brought up an interesting reference. Is anybody that is a horror fan knows that he was in John Carpenter's The Thing back in the day. That was one of his first movies. Mm-hmm. So he was like this alien kind of from another planet that was trying to colonize all these different worlds and planets in this movie, and he wasn't necessarily human form. That was just the form that he took, when he was on these different planets.
Right.
So for me, he was kind of like actually the Thing again, in a sense. He was this thing. So I thought that was kind of an interesting parallel from like something he's played in the past. So it was cool.
Yeah, I mean, I love that he was in it, but I mean, dude, Stallone.
Oh, that was awesome cameo. That was great.
Like the different people that they had in there, like Ving Rhames. We talked about that the last time on the podcast. Michelle Yeoh, Michael Rosenbaum, who was unrecognizable because his character was, I don't know if it was makeup or CGI, but his character was friggin' cool as hell. It was Martin X. He was like that crystalline looking dude.
Yep.
So like these characters were like all really cool, and it was just really cool to see them all on screen. And like there were tons and tons of like like little things that they threw in there. It was like if you can think of it, then James Gunn gave it to us. Like he put everything he could into this movie, and it was awesome. One of the things that kind of I thought they did very well was Ego, the Living Planet, who is Kurt Russell's character. When they show Ego, like the planet itself, they didn't get like super corny with it or cheesy. It actually looked pretty cool. Like it was probably like one of the better looking representations of Ego that I've seen, including like, you know, stuff that I've seen in the comics. Because in the comics, it just kind of looks like, you know, they slapped a face on a planet. But in the movie, it really kind of looked like, you know, just some of the formations on the planet, like the rock formations and land formations and, you know, volcanoes or whatever. It just kind of looked like that made the face almost like, you know, when sometimes I look at the moon and I see a face in the moon, like just almost like a face with like kiss makeup on. And I don't know if anybody else sees that. It might just be me, but, you know, it just kind of felt like that. It felt like there was a face in there, but it wasn't, you know, this like blatant, you know, face on a planet thing. Right.
I mean, I thought overall, you know, it was enjoyable on so many levels. The only thing I will say is I think one of the things that we experienced in the theater was there was one person that was like uncontrollably laughing at everything through the entire movie, which was a little distracting. But even that, in a sense, was not enough to pull me away from the film.
I wanted to dump my soda on her.
Yeah. Well, she definitely was annoying as hell. It was like everything that was supposed to be a joke in the film, even things that weren't supposed to be jokes, she was laughing at. It was almost like an uncomfortable laugh, but she was disturbing like a lot of people. There was this one dude that was sitting in front of her. He's like, really? He's like, it's not funny. He's like, you need to get out more. Like giving her shit. And he was just wicked pissed. But I mean, overall, I wasn't directly in front of her. I was a row in front of her, but like, you know, way off to the right. So I was able to kind of still enjoy the movie and not hear her directly behind me. But it was just such a damn good movie, man. The action was great. There was something else I was going to bring up that I really liked about the movie. Damn it, I just had it and I lost what it was. It was really funny. But and Groot, dude. Groot was awesome.
Yeah.
Like just this baby Groot. You know, like he added like a really like fun element to it, you know, like this really cute element to the film.
Yeah.
You know, especially he was trying to grab all the different shit. You can't grab the right thing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Like the intro was probably like the best intro to a movie like I've ever seen. Like the best beginning.
What was the beginning again? Remind me.
It was Groot, baby Groot, running around.
Oh yeah. That's right.
That's right. Dancing and
that's right.
Trying to avoid things, and
yeah,
he wasn't even trying to avoid things. It was just like, you know, like just pure luck that he avoided like everything. Fatal accident that could have occurred.
Yeah. No, that was awesome.
And then Drax like, you know, diving into the beast and, you know, saying that he's gonna, you know, take it out from the inside because the skin was too thick on the outside.
I must get it from the inside. Drax is awesome, man. He was like really funny in this movie too.
Yeah,
like kind of like comic relief.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a picture that I need to find. I need to re-show you. Becca, my wife, actually met him, and I met him also. He was here in Providence, Rhode Island, for something a couple of years back. Before anybody knew him from Guardians, it was some wrestling thing, or he was here for, and he was at this club that I happened to be at, and he walked by me, and he's actually, I'm 6'2". He was about, I'd say 2 or 3 inches taller than me, so he's a pretty big guy, mm-hmm. But he's definitely like just all muscle, like legit muscle, like what you see in the film is basically all him. He's legit a big guy, but a super nice guy too. And that's one of the good things is meeting somebody like that. You would hope that they would actually be as nice as you want them to be in person. And he was just like a super cool guy.
Right.
So, but I feel like with the type of personality that he has on screen, it would be hard to see him like not as like a guy to get along with. I don't know. He just seemed like a pretty easygoing guy. But that was cool to actually get the chance to meet him. So I thought you guys would find that interesting that he's actually as nice as he would seem to be. Oh man, yeah, Stallone though definitely killed it. Really small part. I'm hoping that we get to see him in like the third movie. Maybe he'll do some kind of like reprise his role, because that would be cool to see him again.
Yeah, probably going to see him in like a bit role again, and then maybe in Guardians 4.
Yeah, you know the storyline more than me, so.
Well, none of this follows any kind of.
There's no storyline for him.
Nothing. It doesn't follow any of the comic book stuff. In Guardians, James Gunn basically is writing his own Guardians of the Galaxy tale, and really doing a bang up job. Like, none of this stuff was in the comics at all.
All right. Well, that's kind of cool then. I mean, it's kicking that much ass, and it wasn't pre-written, except for what he's actually doing. So,
but what I feel like Infinity War is going to lay the groundwork for Guardians 3. And then Infinity War, the second part of Infinity War, which is now titled Infinity Gauntlet, is probably going to be the catalyst, because it's. I mean, I'm sure that the Guardians are going to end up on Earth, because they've talked about including all of the Marvel heroes that they've introduced so far. Yeah. In that final Avengers film, and when the Guardians are on Earth, that's when we're gonna get Adam Warlock, I think.
Who you've talked about a bunch of times already.
Yeah, and that's who she introduced at the end of the movie.
Right.
When she had the that big like coffin looking thing. Yeah.
He's like, oh, that what was it, Adam?
Yeah.
So that's gonna be cool.
Mm-hmm.
There was the post credit scenes were actually pretty cool too. Like it didn't seem over the top.
Right.
You know, like when they said 5 post credit scenes, I thought it was going to be a little redundant, but it wasn't. It actually worked really well. It was kind of like seeing like different sets of outtakes after like a movie's over.
Yeah.
So and that's basically what it was. But it was all these little cool scenes, and I thought that was awesome. So yeah, man, I give Guardians a 5, like 5 out of 5. Like I really enjoyed it. Can't wait for the next one. We know there's going to be a third one because that's already been announced. And every single trailer that we saw was like, before that movie was awesome. It was like a new Spider-Man trailer with like some new stuff in it. It was the new Star Wars movie. What else did we see in there?
There was Alien Covenant.
Oh yeah, Alien Covenant.
Spider-Man Homecoming. Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, Thor. That was the other one.
Star Wars. And I thought there was one more.
That might have been it. If there was one more, I forgot what it was.
There was one more, but it wasn't like. It was weird. It wasn't. It was out of place. It didn't really fit in with like the theme.
Yeah.
Of all the films that were being shown in the trailers. It was, but the trailers that made a difference for us were the ones that we just mentioned. Yeah, I think I leaned over. I leaned over to you at one point, and I was like, "How hard are you right now?" Because it was just like 7 or 6 trailers in a row of all like awesome stuff. So stuff that we've already talked about and seen. You bring up Alien Covenant briefly. There was a Defenders trailer. Oh, Defenders. Yeah, that's what it was. Which was interesting because that's a Netflix property, and I think they're weaving it into a whole Marvel related. You know what I mean? Yeah. But speaking of Alien Covenant, the only update I have on that is that there is a couple. There's like another clip and a new trailer which has some new scenes. The film has already been released overseas, and there's been some pre-screenings of it. And from what I've heard, people have good things to say about it, which is gives me hope that this movie is actually going to be good. And from what I've been reading, Ridley Scott actually made a statement and said that he's giving away a lot more, not giving away. He's answering more questions in this film. People had questions after Prometheus about what was going on, and he says that he answers a lot of the questions that people have, and that when the next one comes out, everything is actually going to come full circle. So, and one of the other cool things, Fassbender made a statement, and he also said that he actually doesn't know
where the storyline is going, like after this third movie. He kind of just plays Walter and David, and he said that he treats Ridley Scott like he is actually one of the creators in the movies. Like he's like, the story will be told as he releases it. He doesn't ask him any questions until he gives him the answers. He just plays what he's handed. Mm-hmm. So I think that's kind of a cool way to do it, because if he knows stuff in the future, that might actually predict how he's going to play the character in the present.
Right.
So I don't know. There was some cool things. Some more things come out every week. So May 19th. I'm looking forward to that. So that's all I got on that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. But dude, you've been watching American Gods. That's come out.
Yeah, man.
What do you think, dude?
Man, it's probably the best show that's been created for television.
I'm going to quote you. It doesn't compare to anything else on TV.
It doesn't.
Okay, explain that. Why?
So you know how like when you have one thing that doesn't look or behave like anything else that you've ever seen?
Yeah.
That's usually what you mean when you say it doesn't compare.
No, I get anything. That. And I knew that's where you were going with it. That's why I started laughing. But no, I mean, like give me an example. I mean, obviously, spoilers, doesn't matter. I mean, like, give me an example of something you saw in the show that brings you to that statement. You know, like, is it the look of it, how they do things? Is it like the way the storyline is playing out so far? Is it like the acting? Like, what is it about the show that separates it so far from everything else?
All of the above.
Okay.
It's just unique. It's something that, like, I don't know. There are things like, you read a book, right?
Right.
And the book is amazing. And there are things in the book, and you say to yourself, when you hear that there's like a movie or a TV show coming out, there are things in the book that you just know aren't going to make it because it's either too much, or it's going to be too difficult to do, or you're not going to be able to make that happen and make it realistic or make it believable. And they are doing all of that shit. And it's mind-blowing. Like, it's amazing. And I don't know, man. Like, it's because, again, like, this is one of those things where because of the gravity of it, and because of how fantastic and how amazing and how, unheard of this shit is, it's like, I don't want to give away any spoilers because then you're expecting it.
Right.
And it's one of those things where
I'm not going to get the same reaction that you have unless I see it.
Yeah, exactly. Like if I tell you that this is what you're going to see, now you're like, oh, when is this going to happen? And then you see it and you're like, oh, I knew that was going to happen. But it would probably still be like, wow, that was great. He was right. But it won't be the same level of amazement. You know what I mean?
I think the one thing that makes me want to watch it is something you said the other day. You were like, oh, it's like shit that, like the first, like every episode is like shit that you would expect to see in like a finale of a show, so that usually they save all the best shit for the finale. So, I mean, if that's like every episode, then like it's got to be fucking good. So, but it's on Stars, which I don't have. So I'm going to have to.
Do you have Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
I think it's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
But I can't tell if it's just because some websites I read are from the UK.
Yeah.
Because, like, in the UK, they may not have access to Stars or what. I don't know what the fucking situation is, but I know that it was released on Amazon Prime like a week before it hit Stars, but it was only in the UK at that time.
I'll look into it.
Look at Amazon Prime because it might be there.
Okay.
On Amazon Prime Video. But it's just fucking insane. Like,
yeah.
It's great. And Ian McShane.
That's what I was just going to ask you.
Yeah, that dude is fucking great. Did you watch Deadwood?
I watched episodes of it. I didn't watch it like consistently. But he was awesome in that.
Mm-hmm.
Ian McShane's awesome anyway. I mean, one of the things is like you forget that he's also very good at comedy, and he played Andy Samberg's father in Hot Rod. So I mean, he was great in that as from a comedic standpoint. But he was also in John Wick too. He's kind of like the guy who is in charge of this whole Assassin's Creed. This cult of assassins. So he's just great in everything. So I can only imagine that he's awesome in this.
He's like old man Negan.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I know what you mean. He has that cadence about him, and he has like that really like unique vocal style to when he talks. So he's been around for a while, man. Deadwood. Then he was in Carnival like back in the day too on HBO. So he's paid his dues. You know what I mean? I'm glad he's in a lot more stuff. He deserves to be.
Yeah, he is very, 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 very good in this shit. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, man. I trust you on it. I mean, I definitely. Just the way you've been talking about it, I'll have to check it out.
No, Orlando Jones made his debut yesterday.
Yeah, I was saying he was in that. Yeah, was he good?
Yeah, on episode 2, it fucking great.
Okay.
Yeah, like I've not really ever was like Orlando Jones is fucking great.
Yeah,
like, he's always been like good or like oh yeah, look, it's Orlando Jones, right? It's always the guy from the fucking Sprite commercial, but he's fucking great, like great.
Okay,
great.
All right,
yeah,
man, you're really hyping this up.
Yeah, dude, I can't hype it up enough.
Okay,
like my level of hyptitude is not enough.
Hyptitude,
it's not enough to do the show justice or to paint a picture of what this show is going to be when you watch it. Like, I told a couple of friends of mine, like, they were like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to finish that. Fuck what you're watching.
Yeah.
Finn agrees.
Finn agrees. Yeah, definitely.
Fuck what you're watching. Watch this shit right now. Just start it.
Well, I'm going to have to check out this show then. I'm going to have to check out American Gods on Stars. When does it come out? What days? Sundays?
Sundays, yeah.
Sundays, what time? Eastern time?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. All right, word.
I think this will be a good time to take a quick break and hear a little bit about our sponsor.
This episode of the Red Beard Podcast is brought to you by Supply and Demand Investing. Not all investments are created equal. Guys, did you know that the Standard & Poor's 500 is made up of the 500 of the 2,400 stocks on the New York Stock Exchange?
Say word.
And that the S&P 500 index, most quoted by the media outlets, is a cap-weighted index. A cap-weighted index gives more investment weight to larger companies and incrementally less and less to the smaller ones.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yet, there's another S&P 500 index that invests in the same 500 stocks equally. The question then is, which of these two indexes do you think has performed better over the past 5 years?
I have an idea.
Well, if you want to find out, go to supplyanddomandinvesting.com/redbeard. That's us, guys. supplyanddomandinvesting.com/redbeard. Now, supply and demand investing helps compare investments in the hopes of delivering better than average results, whether they be long-term, short-term, or just something in the middle. And remember, like any good sports team, when it comes to investing, there are times to play offense by investing in things like the S&P 500 and times to play defense by investing in things like bonds, CDs, or cash. So I say go Pats.
Go Giants.
Pats.
If you want to find out, check out
supplyanddomandinvesting.com/redbeard.
And we're back.
Yeah, man. So one of the other things I wanted to touch base on is I don't know if you've been watching Better Call Saul, man, but you watched Better Call Saul for a while back, right?
I watched season 1, or most of season 1.
Yeah.
Up until the episode where they were like, he had to like find that family that was like that ran away, like
yeah,
and he had to find them, and like on that episode, I stopped watching it. It wasn't because I was like, disappointed or anything. I just didn't, get back to it.
Yep.
And I plan on doing that, but when I get shows like that, where like the longer I go without watching it, like the more work it's going to be to catch up.
Yeah.
And the more shit I have to not watch to catch up on that. So it's going to be like probably during a vacation or something like that
you catch
I'll
up.
do it. Yeah.
Well, I will say, man, I think if you were a fan of Breaking Bad, then you should definitely watch this because it's also written by Vince Gilligan and the creators of that. So,
prior to American Gods, Breaking Bad was the best TV show that was ever made, in my opinion. So,
you're putting it up there already?
Huh?
You're putting it up there already?
What?
With Breaking Bad, American Gods.
Episode 1. Yeah.
Episode 1. All right. There's only been one episode of this, and you're already... All right, man. Shit. Okay.
Unless they would have to really fucking drop the ball at some point. And if they do, it's not like I'm going to eat my words. I mean, it's not like I can predict the future. But, like, currently, the way that
as
it's
of
going,
now, okay.
I have every bit of faith in the world that this can be one of the greatest television shows ever.
You heard it here first, folks.
If not the greatest. Ever.
So, well, there you go. Cooley's Mouth could be the best show ever. On that note, we'll jump back into kind of like the whole Breaking Bad being one of the best shows ever, and that transitions us into Saul. And I'm telling you, you have to catch back up when you get a chance, man, because dude, Bob Odenkirk is killing it in this show. He's like phenomenal. Not to mention. And I don't know his name, but the other guy who played Mike in Breaking Bad, he was kind of like
the Mike Ehrmantraut dude.
Yeah, the bald guy. You know what I mean? He what I really like about this show is not only do we see like how Saul becomes who he was in Breaking Bad, but we also see a little bit of Mike's backstory. How they know each other, but you actually get to see how he starts working for Gus.
He was a parking lot attendant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking great.
You know what I mean? And it's just badass because it was the second episode of this third season. We got to see Gus actually come into play. He's working at, Los Polos Hermanos, as the manager, and he's running like a heroin business. You know what I mean? So you get to see the backstory of that. We've actually seen the guy in the wheelchair from Breaking Bad that had the bell. We get to see him before he was in the wheelchair and how he's probably going to end up there. But it's just, there's so many different pieces of the puzzle that are starting to actually come together. And it's awesome because they obviously reference Breaking Bad so much. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I'm watching the show all over again. Like I'm actually starting to, if there are any questions that I had about like people's backstory, I'm getting those answers. So it's satisfying on another level. So I think if anything, if you guys loved Breaking Bad, you owe it to yourself to check this out. Even if you haven't even watched the first season, just jump into it because it really is worth your time. If you enjoyed Breaking Bad, this show is not going to let you down. My wife actually didn't watch the second season. She's kind of kicking herself now because I've been talking about the third season, how great it is, and she's got to catch up. Yeah. So, check out Better Call Saul, man. Bob Odenkirk already won, I think, a Golden Globe or an Emmy for it, just because he's doing such great work. So, and this guy is the same guy who, did, came from Second City, and did theater with people like Phil Hartman and Chris Farley, and he was a writer on SNL. He's the guy who wrote the Matt Foley character that Chris Farley did, the motivational speaker. So he's a very, very talented guy in more ways than one. So I'm excited to see where the show's going to go. So, and it's only third season, man. I don't think it's going to slow down anytime soon. So, yeah.
Word.
One other thing, May 16th, bro, Injustice comes out.
Yeah.
Which I'm pumped for. I did not pre-order it, but I'm confident I'll be able to grab a copy. Did you pre-order it?
I pre-ordered it, got the Ultimate Edition.
Yeah. How much did that swing you?
It's $100.
It's $100? Yeah. I honestly, but the game itself is what? Without all that shit, is what, like $60?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but what is it? What did you get for the extra 40?
What did you get for the extra 40 with Mortal Kombat?
I didn't pay $100 for Mortal Kombat.
Yo, the Ultimate Edition of Mortal Kombat was $100.
Dude,
it's got like all the, it's gonna have all the same like attention given to it, like as far as like extra characters later on down the road, different stages, things like that that will come in, costume packs, like all the content that you would end up spending like $19, throughout the friggin' course of the game's life.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get as the bonus of having the Ultimate Edition. You just get everything unlocked.
Yeah.
Not immediately, obviously, but as it gets released.
Yeah. No, dude, I don't remember spending that much on Mortal Kombat. I tell you that right now. Like, I know I didn't, because I went to GameStop, picked it up that night, and I spent like another $15 or $20 on something. It was the first combat pack that I got. Like, it was gonna, like, when that came out, I was gonna get it for like $5 or $10 cheaper. But like, I think it was like.
But then, how much did you spend on XL?
I didn't. Well, what are you talking about?
Because you had to spend money on XL to unlock Mortal Kombat XL. Like, because like you bought like the packs as they came out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of waiting and spending the money as it comes out, and then spending, I think you end up spending like $10 or $15 more that way. Instead of doing that, I'm just getting it all in one shot.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like if I was gonna, when I pre-ordered it, I feel like with everything I spent like maybe $80 as opposed to like the 60. But I mean, like,
but then I promise you easily spent more than another $20 over the course of the game's lifespan.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean,
just buying like the extra shit as it came out.
Right. I definitely will. I don't know. I'll think about it. I mean, at this point, if I can't get a pre-order, then I'm probably just going to get it anyway. I'm getting it regardless. I just can't wait to check it out, because there's been so much hype about this game. The gameplay looks phenomenal. The storyline looks awesome. They keep releasing new freaking trailers every day for this damn game. So,
the first one was one of my favorite games. I sold my PlayStation 4 and I was going to buy it again on Xbox, and it just never came out for Xbox One.
Right.
So I was like, fuck. No Injustice for me, and then they announced Injustice 2, and I've just been fucking hyped ever since, man. I can't wait.
Well, I remember that was one of the first games that I played over here, man, was when Jim was here, and he was like, I'm space British. Like, that was like that was the whole, thing with that, how that started. But yeah, man, Injustice, dude, I'm so pumped for it, dude. I can't wait, because I know that NetherRealm Studios is going to do a great job, and we've talked about this before, but they are still releasing, stuff for Mortal Kombat, so I can only imagine how long the shelf life of this game is going to go for.
Is there another pack coming out?
Dude, they've been talking about that for months. There's supposed to be Combat Pack 3. I was under the impression that it was going to be in the new year. Like, I was waiting for it. I was hoping that it was going to come out before Christmas, and then that didn't happen. And then Ed Boon tweeted some bullshit about how, Combat Pack 3, and then people freaked out, and then like nothing happened. And then I started seeing stuff about Injustice, and I'm like, all right, well, maybe they're taking their time releasing that because they're focusing on Injustice. But here we are, like, well, that's what I'm saying. Well, yeah, but I mean,
Combat Pack 4.
What are you talking about?
Well, they've had 3 already. Like with they had Jason, then they had
no, there was only 3.
5. It would be Combat Pack 5, wouldn't it?
No, it wouldn't. No, they had the first one.
Or did Jason and Predator come out in the same pack?
No, they came out in the same. It was or did they?
No, because you had Jason, Predator, you had
no, it wasn't
Alien.
It was
and Leatherface.
Alien was the second one. It was the first one was Leatherface, Predator, that dude that was like a rock. I forgot his name.
Nah, dude, the first one.
No, I'm telling you, bro. I can see.
Nah, it wasn't Leatherface, man. Leatherface was like the third one, man. Because Jason was the first one. Because I remember getting really fucking amped when Jason came out, and I bought that one. I bought Predator, and then I didn't get anything after that. So I don't have Leatherface, and I don't have Alien. And I don't have, what's his name? The fucking rock dude. So it was Jason, Predator, the rock dude, Leatherface, and then Alien.
All right. This is what we're going to do. We're going to look it up right now because we have Google, because it's going to drive me fucking crazy. Jason Voorhees, Predator, Tanya, and Tremor. Those were the first 4 characters.
So they came out in the same pack then?
All 4 did. The second one was Leatherface, Alien, and 2 other fucking people. I don't remember who the fuck they were. It was fuck me. It was Alien, Leatherface, Triborg, and Boraicho, the dude who throws up everywhere. That was the second. The third has not come out yet.
All right.
We're waiting on Combat Pack 3. And I've heard rumors. These are all rumors. I've heard that they want to bring Smoke back. I've heard it could be Sindel. I heard that they were going to do Michael Myers. I heard Terminator, but who the hell knows? So, but leave it to NetherRealm to release, the coolest shit, because that's what they've done so far. Like,
right.
Never did I think they were actually going to get Predator in the fucking game. I thought that was bullshit. And then I was filming something like 2 years ago, and Jim sends me the link. He's like, yo, go online and look up Combat Pack 1. You're going to lose your shit. And right away, I knew it was Predator. And when I saw the preview, dude, I lost my fucking shit. Because that has been like my dream, is like Mortal Kombat and Predator in the same game would be the fucking best game ever. And that's exactly what this game was. Mm-hmm. And then they threw Alien in. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to have to like go in the bathroom by myself for a little bit. And then and I can't imagine like what is coming out next, man. So we'll see. So, but Injustice obviously coming out, and they're going to hopefully be adding some stuff for Mortal Kombat XL, with that 3, because we're still waiting on it. So, Word. Nicki Minaj, do you hate her or like her?
Yeah, up until this morning, I was not a fan of Nicki Minaj in any way. I didn't hate her. I just wasn't. She wasn't on my radar. She wasn't anybody that I'm not listening to her. I'm not like looking for her next release. I'm not trying to see if she's starring in any movies. I'm not fucking can't wait for her new video. Like that's not me. Like Nicki Minaj is not my style of rapper.
Well, I'm going to jump in on that. I'm going to let you explain what we're about to talk about, because this is badass. But like, I didn't like her either. I think I don't like her rap style. That's not like my thing. I think her lyrics are kind of cheesy. I don't like how she gets like wicked deep voice for no reason. Like in her songs, I think she's arrogant. Like when she's on stage, I think some of the things she does are a little kind of like, I don't know, gratuitous, but overall, I'm just not a fan. But what happened today? What information was released?
No, I mean she was talking about a contest that she was having, and she told her fans that were in the contest, or the winners of the contest would be flown out to hang out with her or whatever, or go to one of her shows. I can't remember what the actual contest was, but she literally said, like, Mama has enough money to, fly you from anywhere in the world, to come and see me. And it's like, one of the fans was just like, yeah, well, you got enough money to pay for my my college tuition. And so she came back and, she said, yeah, yeah, sure. Show me that you got a 4.0 grade point average. And as long as I can verify it with the school or the university, then yeah, I'll pay your college tuition. I'll pay your student loan.
Did you know that she did that for like 20 people?
30.
30? Yeah.
She actually hit 30 people before she stopped, and she said that she's going to do more in about a month or two. Yeah,
she's going to have another thing. I can't even. This is awesome.
Yo, it blew my mind. I didn't believe it.
I'm going to hit her up.
Like when I read the headline, I couldn't believe that she was doing it.
Well, people didn't believe her, and she actually she got like her like bank statement and like blacked out a bunch of shit, and you can see all the transactions.
Yeah,
that she literally paid off like people's like shit.
Yeah, one dude was like, "Yeah, I need $1,000 for blah blah blah," and she came back on Twitter like, "Oh, that's it, done. That's all you need. It's $1,000, done." I'm just like, okay, wish I could do that. I would do that in a heartbeat if I could.
Yeah.
But the coolest shit is that she doesn't have to do that. And
no.
And she totally just fucking. It's mind blowing to me.
I think it's you know what though? I feel
it's
like
awesome.
This is something that people should be doing on that type of money.
Exactly.
You have so much fucking money that you're never going to spend in a lifetime.
They're buying Bugattis and fucking
stupid shit.
Like just shit that you can't take with you, man. Shit that's not going to leave a legacy behind for you, man. and this is the kind of shit that will leave a legacy. Like, she did that. Like, if she dies tomorrow, she did something fucking amazing with her life.
I will tell you one thing right now, dude, is that it's unbelievable how something like this changed my whole perception of her. I'm not a big fan of her music, but like next time she comes out with a song, I probably will take a little bit more time to actually listen to it instead of changing the channel. Just because she did this, I have more respect for her, so I might take a little bit more time to listen to her music. But before, it's just like, it's kind of like the persona that she put out when she was on stage. It was like that arrogance, and I didn't really like that. And I don't know, maybe that's like, maybe that is just who she wants to be seen as a stage performer, right?
Well, I feel like when you're, I think the majority of people in the industry are gonna put off that kind of persona. Like, the rap game isn't, fucking folk music. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get up there and like, sit down and fucking pull your guitar out and take your shoes off. Like, you go up there and you got to have some kind of attitude, like to demand the respect of your audience.
Yeah, but then
it's a weird situation because your audience is already coming in there amped up and they're already like fucking, like they're out for blood, and you got to get out on stage and meet that with an equal presence and be out for more blood, than your audience.
But I feel like it was like the stuff that she would say when she like grabbed awards and shit, like I just kind of like, I don't know. I don't have any examples, but I remember seeing it and being kind of turned off by it. And I just feel now, I don't know. There's a difference though. You could be, I feel like you could have that sort of presence, but also when it comes to like an award or something like that, you could take that opportunity to be a little bit more humble about it.
Yeah, but then what happens is you end up being perceived as like fake.
Yeah, but look at Eminem. Mm-hmm. Like, he comes out and he's a tough guy, but then like you see him on like talk shows and shit, and he's intelligent. He's actually like, he's very thankful for everything. Like, but he still goes out there and fucking like slays everybody in the rap game. Like, he's ridiculous.
He doesn't have to prove anything because he's in and out of fucking rehab. Like, I mean, his fans know that he's real. His fans know that he's fucking legit. He doesn't have to prove anything.
He's in and out of rehab.
He has no fucking reason to portray anything. Like, people know what's up. They know that he's rapping from the heart. Like, where somebody like Nicki Minaj, she might go home and she might just put on a pair of sweatpants and fucking t-shirt, sit down with a fucking bowl of ice cream and watch HBO.
She already admits she does that. Right? She admits she does that shit.
But it's like, when she's on stage and when she's like, performing and when she's made up, she's in character. You know what I mean? And I think that's what every rap artist is. Every rap artist out there is in character because nobody's doing the things that they're talking about in their rap music.
Right.
They may have done some of that shit in the past, or they may know people that have done that shit or been around that kind of shit, but nobody's rapping and making millions and also like fucking gun trafficking or except for T.I. But he went to jail for that too.
Becca's met T.I. She said he's actually a pretty nice guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to be a fucking asshole to like do the wrong thing.
Hey, look at the lead singer of Blues Traveler, dude. He got pulled over. They found like AKs in his fucking car. Like, what, dude? You saying run around and hook? Why do you have AK? He said he was prepared for the apocalypse. What the fuck?
But your boy from Blues Traveler is like, when he's on stage, he's not super arrogant and shit like that. Like,
I don't know, man. I think he lost his mind.
but that's a guy who gets on stage and whatever. Like, they just seem like they're just really chill. Like, they're just gonna go smoke some weed and like fucking hang out.
Yo, that guy can play the fucking harmonica like anybody, right? Yeah. But on the side, he collects AKs and prepares for the apocalypse.
Yeah, and that's the guy that's collecting AKs. Like, it's the complete opposite of fucking Nicki Minaj.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
but
definitely.
she proved herself today to be a fucking complete angel, man. She is like, that's real deal for me. Like, That's more badass than anything anybody else could do.
No, I can't completely say hell yeah to that. It was fucking awesome. So
And I would love. What would be dope though is if she starts a movement. Like I would hope that other people follow in her footsteps and do good things for other people.
yeah, I would hope so too. I mean, maybe she's trying to set an example. You know,
if more people did that, like if everybody that had that kind of money did one thing, or for one day a year, just like hook 30 people up, the world would be a better place.
Yeah,
A much better place.
For you and me. That was turning into a Michael Jackson lyric from Heal the World.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you, man. Who knows? Like, who else? What would you do if you had that type of money? Like, what besides pay off like what would you do? Like, what would be your deed?
What would be my good deed?
Putting you on the spot.
I would probably have to. I would probably have to say I'd do something for the community, like probably build like a facility for kids
You were just thinking what I was thinking, yeah.
To like hang out like after school and do shit, like probably in conjunction with Steambox or something like that. Like just like help out that organization, because I really believe in what he's doing. It's just like something like that. I'd have to do something like that just because I believe like kids like need college kids definitely, but the kids that are in high school now, they need motivation to continue their education.
Yeah.
And stay off the streets and stay, out of trouble. And like I would want to contribute to that as much as I could.
So what I would do is something similar, but for me it would be different high schools. I would basically but I would basically fund their arts department, because I feel like that's the first thing to go. And being somebody that like is an actor and is considers to be very artistic and an artist, like that stuff is just as important as like a math class. It's just as important as like an English class or whatever. I think like civics is something they don't teach but needs to be taught again in schools. Richard Dreyfuss is a big advocate for that, for civics. That's like his thing. Like civics needs to be in school. There's like a petition he put out you could sign and stuff. But
I thought you meant Hondas.
No, but civics, yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
Wow, Richard Dreyfuss.
Honda, yeah, he's a big fan of the Honda Civic with a body kit. But that 2003 Civic body kit, pimp. But no, honestly, I don't know. I think the arts department is very important, and I feel like a lot of schools don't have that because they need to cut costs, and that's the first thing to go, and it shouldn't be. So
if
that's what I would do.
Did have like more money, like if I was like Trump rich, right? I think one thing that I would love to do is like maybe find a high school or whatever, and like kind of maybe do it like once a year, and like just give like teachers like a raise out of my own pocket. You know what I mean? Because like they need that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have a lot of friends that are teachers, and I was adjunct for a while at a college, and I'll tell you, dude, like teachers don't make anything close to what they should.
Yeah, no shit.
They get screwed. So, they should definitely be getting paid more because they're educating the next generation, and those are the people that are going to be running the country. So it's important. But that's what I would do. That's me. I'm a big fan of the arts, and I feel like you're kind of in the same direction. So, obviously we're doing this, so we're a big fan of the arts. It's entertainment, so as fun as it is. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was that Spider-Man clip that came out. Did you see that?
I did, dude. Awesome. Dude, Tom Holland is a G, right?
Yeah.
Like, so, I don't know, man. Like, I'm psyched that he's playing Spider-Man because it couldn't be more perfect for the role, and we've seen him in what was it, the last Avengers movie, Captain America movie. He was great in that, what I mean, teaming up with the Avengers. That was great to see him there. So I can't wait to just see a full movie of him, and kind of how he's coming into being Spider-Man that we all love and know. And I just like the whole teaming up with the Avengers, aspect of it. Like we're just getting to see all these characters come together. It's so cool that Marvel's doing that. Like Marvel is just bringing in like Iron Man. Like you get to see all these characters. Like they're blending into the movies together now. It's great. Yeah. It is literally the Marvel universe. So, but he's great, man. And that he had that lip sync battle that we watched, which
he's fucking awesome, man.
So I was obviously looked this up, and I think it's worth mentioning. I mean, you can't move like that in a lip sync battle and dance like that without dance experience, and he has a lot of dance experience, and that he crushed that because he has that experience. Like he went out there and he was moving like a chick for a little bit. It was great, man. And who was he up against again? Who was that chick?
Zendaya.
Yeah, and she even said at the end of the lip sync battle, as soon as she started doing this thing, she's like, "I lost."
Yeah,
like you can't beat that. So
like your boy is Diesel.
Yeah, he is.
Like he's ripped,
but he has to be for Spider-Man.
Like he's not like The Rock big.
Yeah,
but he's like that dude is cut.
Yeah, but have you seen his workout on YouTube that he had to do for Spider-Man?
No.
Oh, it's insane. He went through like a similar workout, like a shred like workout that like everybody, all those like superheroes have to go through. Like look at Tobey Maguire, man, as a reference. Like in the first Spider-Man,
yeah, right.
He like takes off his shirt and then he's all jacked. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Spider-Man has to be jacked too. You know what I mean? So, but he's still got that Spider-Man physique going on. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think he has to keep up with that because he's obviously going to be in more than one movie, and he's got to stay athletic and he's got to stay flexible and have all those gymnastic skills. So, and he clearly showed that in the lip sync battle where he like popped up on his hand and his legs were like tilted. So that's some like parkour shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, he's awesome. And you know what I really liked about the trailer is when he climbs on the ceiling and his friend is in the room and catches him, and then you hear Aunt May downstairs being like, "What's going on?" It's nothing, but you see like that because you hear Tom Holland in interviews, and he's very British and blah 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 blah. Like, "Oh, thank you so much," but he's really like proper. And like you could tell he's like a mature guy, but then like when he Spider-Man, he's like no, we can't let her in the room because when she comes in here, you see she's gonna freak out. Like he turns into that like paranoid like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, and I love that we're getting to see like that scared little kid, and that's I think what we've been waiting to see as Spider-Man.
I love that his buddy is building the Death Star.
Yeah, it's
so great.
It just drops. Yeah, it's awesome.
He was almost done with it.
Yeah, the fucking thing was ruined. So, like Lego has that shit in the store.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I've seen that. That's gonna take a long time to build, man. Yeah, dude, it's such a good trailer, and dude, I will continue to say it. Michael Keaton just looks like he's gonna knock the shit out of the park. Like he really does. He's such a good actor, and I'm so glad that he's getting to play a superhero's villain because he's already played, the superhero portion as Batman. So we get to see this other grand role of his. So it's awesome.
Yeah, Wonder Woman had a new trailer.
Awesome.
I watched that. I liked it, but I'm still worried, man. I'm still worried that Chris Pine is going to be the focus of this film. Dude,
it was funny because I watched the trailer last night. It was on because the MTV Movie Awards were on last night. Mm-hmm. And I was switching between that and the Celtics, and they fucking lost. But anyway, the Wonder Woman trailer, I was watching it specifically with you saying that in mind. Like seeing like how much Chris Pine was in it. I don't know, man. I don't think that he's going to overshadow her. I don't. I feel like he's the male interest in the movie, but
no, exactly. But that's my problem is that there is a male interest in the movie. Like Wonder Woman is. It's weird, man. It's weird.
But dude, but no. But I don't think it's going to take away from the film, though. I feel like in any scenario, right? Like in any superhero movie, like a Batman movie, there's always like the love interest that Batman has, right? And yeah, it's like you had like Nicole Kidman and Kim Basinger, who was like hot as shit when she was in the first Batman. like she was very attractive and she was a character that was worth watching, and we were invested in her as Vicky Vale, but she didn't take away from Batman, and I feel like Chris Pine.
Well, no, because Vicky Vale was probably in the film for less than what Chris Pine is probably going to be, and I think that Vicky Vale was also the thing that he had to rescue. Like she was the person that was like like captive or whatever. So it gave him a purpose to go after whatever. You know what I mean? Like she was the MacGuffin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I still don't think from that trailer it looks like Chris Pine is gonna take away from Wonder Woman. I
don't think he's gonna overshadow her. The movie is obviously about Wonder Woman, but the fact that he's there and the fact that she has a male love interest, right?
Yeah, but what's wrong with that?
It's dumb.
Why?
For Wonder Woman. It's Wonder Woman, bro.
Yeah, but like she can't have a love interest. Like she's still a woman.
Not supposed to. Exactly. See what you just said?
What?
That's not Wonder Woman though. She's still a woman but she's Wonder Woman. She's an Amazon who lived in the Amazon, not in the Amazon, but she lived with the rest of the Amazons with 0 men. Right?
Yeah,
and
but
it's not like they were without men and they were sitting there like, oh, I wish we had men. Like they were there like, fuck men, bro. And like now all of a sudden like she's in a movie, not like I'm saying, there's a movie about Wonder Woman,
right?
And there's a character actor who is not just some nobody. Like he's a well-known actor. Chris Pine is like a geek's like actor. You know what I mean?
I don't know, dude. I don't think
Captain Kirk.
I don't think dude. I don't know. I disagree.
Dude,
I don't
Captain
think
Kirk, bro.
Yeah, but I don't think Chris Pine's fucking awesome. I think he's okay.
I didn't say he's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's a great actor. He's a geek's actor. I'm saying he's been in movies where people know who he is and he's getting top billing.
But you're also saying he's like an A-list actor, like, and he may be right now.
I didn't say that.
Well, you're saying he's a top.
I'm saying he's a geek's actor. He is a guy who's going to get top billing in this film because it's a geek film, and he is in the geek universe, he is an A-list actor. He's Captain
Kirk. All right, I guess I get what you're saying there.
I'm not saying he's fucking Oscar worthy.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that he's great at the craft.
Right.
But I'm saying like geeks know who he is. Like he's somebody who's going to draw people to the film.
Right. But I also feel like people are going to see the film for fucking Wonder Woman because that's what it's about. And from the trailers, I still feel like this movie is going to do well. I honestly do think it's going to do well. Like, dude, Becca's like, I want to go see that. Like, she's the perfect example of somebody who, like, doesn't give a shit about Marvel movies, but wants to go see it. And that's the type of audience that it's also going to draw in, as opposed to people that always go to see the Marvel movies.
I'm not saying she should never have a love interest. I'm saying the first movie that we get Wonder Woman in, it should be as strong a fucking like solo character movie as it can be because they're the first to market with this shit.
But I think it will be. I do.
I mean, Catwoman was fucking awful. Elektra was fucking awful.
Yeah.
Right?
I didn't even bother watching those.
Like awful.
Yeah.
So I'm not counting those. I'm saying that this is like the first movie that we're getting a true female lead. And the character herself, she's not just an American. She's not just
I understand
from another country. She is a fucking Amazon who hates men and has been taught her entire life to hate men. And she's got a love interest in movie number 1. And I think they should have at least waited until the sequel or the third movie or whatever to introduce a love interest.
Give it a chance first.
I'm going to.
All right.
I'm going to.
I honestly, because we don't exactly know how all this is necessarily going to play out yet. So I would say, obviously we're going to go check it out. I honestly really do think this movie is going to do well. I think it's probably going to be the first DC movie to actually do well. People are going to shit on it because it's DC.
They all do well.
Well, but I mean,
like money-wise, they all make fucking money.
That's not what I mean. I mean do well as something that maybe the fans can appreciate instead of shit on it the entire time. I don't see it being a Batman versus Superman, but also I know that fucking comic book fans are sometimes the fucking worst fans when it comes to tearing something apart. Like, and I mean, look, you have a comic book character, a strong female character who is she's awesome. Wonder Woman's fucking awesome, right? And I think that for me, she proved that in Batman v Superman. I thought she was fucking badass, right? But, you know, as somebody who doesn't read comic books as much, and I know that you do, can you agree with me, or do you disagree that as a comic book enthusiast, they are the most harsh critics sometimes when it comes to translating a comic book character to film? Because I feel like that's what I feel happens. Is like somebody might go in and be like, oh, I didn't read the comics.
Do you read books though? Like regular books?
Yeah.
Have you ever watched a movie that was based on a book?
Yeah.
Have you ever watched a movie that was based on a book and been so fucking disappointed because they didn't get it?
Oh yeah.
That's what we feel.
Right,
so in that regard, I don't agree that we're the harshest. I think that there's more of us, and I think that because comic books and novels are so different from one another. Novel readers don't necessarily read comics, but comic book readers will read novels, right? Most of the time, because we just like reading,
right?
And so. That's the best correlation that I can draw for you, is to say, think about a book that you really enjoyed, that you went to go see the movie for, and the director just did not fucking get it.
Yeah, dude, the entire fucking Alien vs. Predator franchise, which was based on a comic book, was torn apart and fucked up. But
like that type of shit is what we see when we go to see something like Batman v Superman, where the characters are just not who they're supposed to be.
Batman v Superman, I can agree with you on.
And like pretty much, what else? Suicide Squad was closer to what it could have, to something that could have been great, but they fucked up in a few different ways, like in just like the pacing and the way that they fucking put things together, and like just the way that they changed the tone of the movie in alternate scenes, and it just like fucking threw me off completely. And then the fucking Ghostbusters ending was awful.
Stupid as shit. But I had fun
at the movie.
Yeah, but I think what I'm saying is, with comic books though, and even with Alien vs. Predator, dude, I mean, I waited like fucking 10 fucking 15 years for that goddamn movie to come out, and I knew it was gonna suck going into it. I knew it was going to fucking suck. Because I'm like, there's no way they're going to fucking do this. They're not going to be able to pull it off. And they fucking didn't. They had fucking no-name actors in it. I'm like, well, this is going to be a piece of shit. And I tried to make myself believe that it wasn't, but it was. And the second one was fucking even worse. So, but I guess my point is that I expected that to be a failure. But just because I don't feel like enough fucking people give a shit about Alien vs. Predator, so nobody gave a fuck about the actors in that movie, and no one knew who they were. So, but with this movie, you have Gal Gadot though, and you have Chris Pine, and you have big name actors in this. So, and the Marvel universe, set aside, has been so fully developed that I think DC is trying to put big name actors in this that are also going to draw in the same types of audiences that Marvel brings in. And so they're putting more money into this, and they're putting big name actors into to draw in those crowds. So I don't feel like this movie is going to be bad. I just feel like, maybe they are changing a couple things to make it more to make it a film as opposed to straight from the comic book. Like, they're updating obviously the way Wonder Woman looks. She looks a little bit more modernized. They're putting her in a modern day setting. I mean, I feel like they changed some things, but it might not be a bad thing.
It's not about changing things. Like, change what you need to change. I don't care. Like, they've changed so much in the Marvel universe, but they get it right. They get the characters right. Get the character right. That's all I'm asking. Get the character right. If he's just in the movie and he's just another character, that's fantastic. It's great. But if he's in the movie and he's a love interest, because Steve Trevor is a love interest for Wonder Woman, right? But if they play it off as a love interest, and there's moments in the movie where, like, you know, if they fucking kiss, I'm gonna fucking puke. That's how bad it is.
Okay.
To do that shit in movie number 1. They just can't do that shit. But the bottom line is, like, it doesn't matter who's doing the movie, whether it's DC, whether it's a Marvel movie. Like, if it's garbage, I'm going to call it on it. And until Marvel actually took over their own shit, like, there were movies that were Marvel movies that I shit on and tore apart. It's not that I don't want them to succeed. I want them to succeed, but I want them to fucking do the right things. And I think that where it lies is, like, not enough people give a shit in Hollywood about Marvel Comics, DC Comics, whatever. So the reason why Marvel Comics does so well is that Marvel Studios runs it. DC doesn't. I don't think DC actually runs their shit. WB runs that shit.
Right.
And WB is looking for the fastest fucking way to make money. So they look at what Marvel's doing, and they're trying to emulate what Marvel's doing, just like you said, but they're trying to rush it, and they're trying to force everything, and they're trying to shove it down your throat, and it's not working.
Right.
People are smarter than that, and that's the problem, is that Hollywood just thinks people are sheep. So because this is great, people are going to come and see this, because this has got to be great too. And yeah, we're going to go see it, but it doesn't mean we're going to fucking love it and give it a fucking, 5-star review. You know what I mean? If you make me go and spend my money by giving me something that I think I'm going to like, and then you give me total shit, I'm going to call it total shit.
Right.
And that's why comic book fans are as passionate and as fucking, we get so angry about shit like that, because the studios out there just don't respect the material that they're
Well, that's what I'm
out.
saying about AVP. Like, I feel like they didn't give a shit about it. You know what I mean? So I knew it was going to blow. So why even make it? But, but you got stuff like, like, it's kind of like, admit this though. I mean, like, as much as it sucks for me to admit this, like, I'm a bigger fan of, as a character, a bigger fan of the Predator than the Alien. I think the Alien's cool as shit, but I think the Predator's cooler. So I would love to see another, like, Predator 1 and 2 I thought were great movies. You know what I mean? And but you have, like, Predators, which was okay.
It was all right.
It was all right, but, like,
it was entertaining.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's not fucking, like, Ridley Scott Alien shit.
Right.
Like, I just wish, like, that would get the same amount of attention. And you got the dude who played Hawkins in the first movie, he's supposedly directing another Predator movie. Nobody's heard shit about that. And, like, as far as I know, there's not any big name actors in it. So I feel like even when it does come out, it's gonna fucking suck.
Right.
And it's like, that's what scares me. It's like I wish they would put some money into that and make it fucking good, like the first and second one. But Alien gets more attention, because you got people like Sigourney Weaver fucking attached to it, who are already agreed to be in another one. So it's just shit like that. Like, you don't have any of the. She's created such a badass female heroine that you can't. They don't have the same thing in a Predator movie, like
that's
Ripley's,
what I need Wonder Woman to be is
Ripley. Yeah,
because Ripley never had a love interest.
Well,
except for in the first one, right?
Well,
there was no love interest in Aliens.
No, well, no, technically there wasn't, but there's always been, like, that theory that, like, if Hicks had survived.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not talking about theories,
but
though. I'm talking about
you're talking about
actual.
No, there wasn't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, and
there's a motherly love for Newt, but that's about it.
Yeah, and that's what I need for Wonder Woman, is to be that strong. Like, because Ripley is a character that you think of, and, like, you're just like, damn, that was a strong character.
Well, then they probably will. Then I don't know. I hope that they will. Yeah.
I hope they will. And on that note, I'm gonna say let's wait and see, and let's call it a night.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and wonder what's gonna happen. Stupid. All right. So on that note, later.
Peace.